So I was just reading an article on Beckett and the grading card services, and we just found out that the owner is going to jail because he was in a $2 billion insurance fraud scheme where he pled guilty to. And now we're wondering, are they going to sell off? Or are they going to have someone, other person or other company invest in the company? What is going to go on with them? This is from like 2016 to 2019 ish, I guess, and they were wondering why, like what was happening with this, and it was a $2 billion insurance fraud, which is crazy. So I wanted to kind of go about what Beckett is and what they've been doing and how the credit card system, over the last few years has been degrading, and we've been talking about this in the comments a lot, and how it's been going down and down and down and down and down. So the first thing is revolving around issues around grading. There's inconsistencies. There's many customer complaints. There's the handling practices that they utilize, and these are all affecting their reputation and Beckett and even in other grading card services. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was just Beckett and their grading lawsuit update, where they had other lawsuits as well. And there's many allegations of grading inconsistencies where they're getting sued for. And there's also defective grading, and there is also customer satisfaction and misleading reports. So as you see these things, there's three things I want to really hit on for this first unit, and it's Beckett grading and their lawsuit update. The allegations of grading inconsistencies, that's the first one. So like when we sent our show, I sent a Shohei Ohtani. It was ranked out of 25 or numbered out of 25 from Big League Baseball of 2023. It was like a black background. Haven't seen it before. I don't even see. I have seen one. I haven't really checked in a while, but I haven't seen one yet. And sent it away. It was about September, beginning of September, end of August. We sent it away, and I didn't get it back until like December. So it was like 4 months. It took to grade just one card, and it cost me about $45, $50 after all the taxes and the fees and the shipping and things like that. I got it back. I mean, if you can watch our video on TikTok and Instagram, I took it out of the pack, looked at it. I was like, oh man, look at this, right? Shohei Ohtani, great, out of 25. Put it in plastic. Boom. Didn't touch it since. And then I wrapped it when we put it into the grading card system, just like they said, everything. Got the card back. Got it as a grade of an 8. I'm like, 8, dude, I just took it right out of the pack, right? Even though if it was not centered or things like that, I mean, at least should be a 9. So I got it graded as an 8, and that was with that wasn't with Beckett, but it was with PSA. So there's some issues with things that people are having. There's raised concerns about either undergrading, like I got, or even overgrading. So there's many concerns with that with their lawsuit update. Defective grading. There's also defective grades. There's mint cards that are going down in grade because it's very subjective. It's a very subjective process. And people are having a big problem with that because you have somebody that has this, somebody has that, and they're giving it different grades because of the process. So this is like a really not a great thing that they're building the reputation up with. The last one for this part is customer satisfaction and misleading reports or practices. Not providing adequate customer service and feedback is really degrading the entire process of grading. And no compensation, or you're getting an error card, they're grading it wrong and they're not giving any compensation back. Beckett is doing this a lot. And this is not with the actual lawsuit of insurance fraud, but I'm just trying to wrap your guys' heads around the grading process and just what's happening over the last 2 or 3 years, maybe even longer than that, even longer when I was looking at it. The next part is the industry wide is under intense scrutiny just with grading. And that means that there's many broader grading issues, not just with, Beckett, but also PSA, SGC, and other grading card companies that we're seeing. And just like I told you a story about our Ohtani card, we have issues with PSA. So I mean, there's no way that card should have gotten an 8 grade. I don't have no bent corners. It was centered pretty well. It wasn't like a messed up card or anything like that, and it wasn't bent. It wasn't like warped. So at least a 9. I was expecting not an 8, but an 8 is just like not even worth grading. And if I would have known it was going to give me an 8, I wouldn't have spent $50 sending it in. Also, impact on the resale market. I wrote down here that double doubts reduce confidence with lower value, which means that reduce confidence, like as you get lower value, it reduces confidence over the board, over the entire thing, right? Over eBay and everything like that, and your grading card systems goes down. So the next one is response from Beckett. Now, what I wrote here, just because of this, I had improved transparency, and I also had new tech and innovations. So how are they going to react to this? Now, not necessarily the $2 billion insurance fraud, but other issues. If their company continues to go forward, they have to, change the reputation around. They have to give buyers confidence and sellers confidence as well to, make sure that they're going to have return buyers and return people that are going to send their things in. Because if not, that company's going to go out of business. So what I wrote here for response for Beckett was improved transparency, meaning process adjustments, they need better quality control. You need to have people check and check and check these grading things because, you have these big collectors and big companies send these things in, and all of a sudden you're getting all these crap grades back, and it's not right. Second thing is new tech and innovations. What can they do to make it better? How can they make it better? So how can they offer more consistent grades and cards? So there's new things that they're trying out, like advanced imaging techniques, or even assisting with AI that could help, and that will help maybe reduce the human error aspect of the actual grading card process. Public relations is another example that I had written down for under the response from Beckett, and communication. They need communication, right? Complaints and disputes and turnaround times. That's public relation. It should. I know there's a lot of cards. I understand that, but and COVID has been crazy because different people or not many people are there, and there's less staffing and blah blah blah, whatever. But we're like almost 5 years past COVID now. So if I send a card in, if I send one card in, it should not take me 4 months to get it back. You know what I'm saying? That's a little ridiculous. It's like a half a year almost to get that back. There's no reason why that should take that long to get back. So public relation is very important, when we're looking at complaints and disputes and how long it takes for things to get back. The next thing I wrote down was like settlements and ongoing legal battle. So there are unresolved legal issues with Beckett, and it's unclear if they are getting resolved, or are they ongoing, or some resolved, some ongoing. I've been researching a little bit, and I know some are like ongoing, some are resolved, and they're getting some legal battles, and not just Beckett, but other car companies as well. Reputation, just before we talk about reputation, their reputation is damaged now, especially now. In the last week, this story has come out as of a $2 billion insurance fraud. $2 billion for a card company, right? To have somebody have insurance fraud, the head of your company, owner going to jail, pleading guilty on this, right? Who's going to invest in that company? Who's going to send cards to this company now, right? And what's going to go on with PSA? What's going to go on these other card companies, right? So reputation is so big. We try to put a good reputation here as Sports Card Hustlers, and have an open air, atmosphere when we're talking back and forth in the comment sections. It's very important, right? And that also helps us, build our reputation up a little bit, and hope you guys trust what we're saying and what we're researching, and going from there. But Beckett is just like not in a good spot right now. The last part is like, okay, how is grading? How is the landscape in 2024? What's going to change? How is it changing? How is it bad? How is it good? So I wrote down some things. Competition. Obviously, you got competition. There's competitions now with smaller companies emerging. There's a company called Hybrid Grading Approach. Can't read my handwriting, right? And it's HGA, and that's a really small company. It's an up-and-coming company that's a grading card company, and they're new. And how are they going to compete against these bigger name companies? Are they going to trust the little company better than, is it cyclical? You have these big companies running everything, and now you have small companies coming back up, and people are trusting the small companies more because it's more hands-on. It's more family-oriented, compared to a big company. So it all goes back and forth, right? Or even now, in the last couple of years, AI has been ridiculous. Is AI going to take over this process? What's going to happen with that? So that's a big thing we're trying to watch here. and see if AI is going to be taking over this grading. They're going to AI can do it that. Now, I don't know if I'm a proponent of AI or not. Kind of leery, but AI is cool too. But I'm a mix, right? But AI, you can bring cards in there. AI can grade it in second, boom, boom, done, and get them back out to you in a month or so. So we'll see what happens with that over the next couple of years. Is that going to kind of take over or not? Market volatility. Market volatility. There's so much fluctuation, and if grading companies, if they don't maintain their reputation or their high standards, then the value of these cards are going to go down or they're going to fluctuate, right? If I have all these graded cards and they're all Beckett or they're all PSA and I got 1,000 of them and then PSA goes under, what are those cards now? Are they like not worth nothing? Is Beckett not worth anything now because the guy's got a $2 billion lawsuit? Like, so if I have all these Beckett gradings or these cards graded in my house, and I want to bring them to a card show, and show people or sell them or whatever that is, right? Are they like worth like nothing now? Not worth nothing, but are they worth lower value because of this fact? And I'm going to say probably yeah. So market volatility is very important to the future. What do you think? Well, like let me ask you in the comments. Why don't you write down what do you think Beckett's going to do? What's going to happen with the grading card future? I know there's a lot of people in the comments of our last couple of videos, like they're saying like grading cards or grading companies are like the detriment of sports card, the hobby and things like that. So why? Why do you think that? What's happening? What are some resources or what are some facts or data that you're going to say about that? So give us something to talk about in the comments, right? But what I think you got to what Beckett has to do at least is Beckett and other companies as well is what they have to reform the grading policies. Like, how are they going to reform this? How are they going to change the grading policies and make it better, make it consistent, make it faster, make it more instead of like I guess more of a, not really looking at and guessing what the grade is going to be. Not that they really do that now, but more of an exact grade. How can they do that? Improve customer service. Customer service is so important. We try to go through all the comments, talk to you guys, customer service, talk, interact, all that kind of crazy stuff, all that great stuff. We love doing it. It's a hobby. It's like our family now, right? How can you improve customer service as a company, Beckett especially, if you have a $2 billion lawsuit or a fraud scheme going against you? So it's kind of be tough. So they got to revamp that entire process. And then the last thing is rebuild the trust. How are they going to rebuild trust? How are they going to make me want to send my 1,000 cards that I have or 5 cards that I have to their company to get graded? How can they do that? So they got to make sure they got to find somehow to get trust back in the buyers and the sellers and the sports cards market, because right now is probably at an all-time low. But let us know what you guys think in the comments. I wanted to shoot this video out to you guys real fast because I saw this article and I was reading this article about this, and I wanted to inform you guys because I knew nothing about it. And so I read the article and researched it a little bit. So hopefully you guys appreciate. I'm sorry it's dark outside, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys so you can kind of see what's going on. But let us know in the comments what you guys think, what you guys have heard, what you guys have learned over the course of these last couple of years with these grading card companies. But we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.